Game running.
Welcome to another Bootstrap multiplayer game. This time between Krarilotus and CIO. Need to swap those sides. Oops, that's not what I want to do at all. Swap those around. Now this is being played with SHC player, same as the video from last week. Last week I wasn't able to go into huge detail on what SHC player is, but this game I think is going to give me a little bit of time to talk about it, as well as follow the game. We have Krarilotus in the black coming out here with his starting troops a little bit behind CIO. So I'm going to zoom in here and watch that. The arch is only fighting the lions because everything else is out of range. Here goes the start fight. Oops, did not mean to do that. Looks like Krarilotus is about to lose his first one, but with all the units constantly moving. First unit down for Krarilotus. First archer down for CIO. CIO's archers are a little weaker, so it looks like it will go to Krarilotus's. We got slaves coming in, assassins, slaves. What's coming over here? Another assassin over here as well. So there's plenty. The good thing about SHC player is that this minimap shows the entire game. So you can kind of watch what's going on from anywhere, whereas without it, you would only be able to see this quarter of the screen. These assassins not doing too much yet. On the other hand, this one here is just standing there. So let's head back over this side. Oh, if he gets that granary, that is going to be huge. And he is, and he's got a slave. Ah, that's the kind of a waste of a slave. Well, it's not a waste of a slave, but I feel like that slave should have been done something else. Granary down, that's going to hurt CIO big time. Popularity is starting to go down. It's been replaced. Does have meat come in straight away. Have another slave trying to come up. This assassin is finally doing something. And he's going, you know what? If you're going to take out my granary, I'll take out yours. No problems. See if I care. And it's going to go down. Krarilotus doesn't realize it's happening. There's no units kind of preparing for it. Here goes the Slingers to try to deal with it. Meanwhile, both players have their archers sitting behind their lords. Slaves coming forward from CIO over here. That slave got killed off before doing anything on the other side. Assassin coming forward from CIO. Because this is a recorded game, I can see all the assassins and what they're doing. And you'll note that assassins look slightly different. I've got a slightly extra mod on there to make them a little bit more obvious who owns them. Oh, that's value right there. 15 wood value. Building destroyed. Got Spearman trying to come in. See, this guy's slightly purple. You can kind of tell that he's different from the black ones. Got to lose both woodcutters. But we got Slingers coming out to deal with that. But it destroyed 3 quarries. This assassin doing a lot of work here. And we've got the Spearman taking out a farm over here. Krarilotus is just falling behind, although he does seem to have won the centre fight. Which means he can start moving forward and start pressuring these farms over here. But there is a lot of troops out here to stop anything else from happening. And Krarilotus, aside from that central area, does not have much map control. Those assassins have been pushed off. The Slingers come forward to try to deal with the Horsearcher and the Spearman. CIO is clearly not paying attention to this, so he's going to lose that Horsearcher. Well played. And now Krarilotus has the map control. So the Spearman coming out. Let's have a look at the starting troops. So economy. Also we've got 2 pole turners and 1 Fletcher versus 2 Fletchers. We'll see how that works out. I'm not sure which one's actually going to be better. I mean, you can't play without any melee, but I think Krarilotus is focusing on his Slingers, as he always does, to fill in that. Now, there is a problem with the SHC player that some of the games don't play out exactly the way it was played. So hopefully this is not going to be one of them. We'll find that out in a moment, but those slingers just putting pressure on CIO. But it does mean that I can't guarantee they'll always be available. Wait, what are these guys doing? Look at them. Remember that they're throwing their stones down rather than across, which is kind of interesting. And then we've got assassins coming over the other side again. Yeah, one of the other things is you can change the way this minimap looks. So I've dimmed it a little bit. Last week it was dimmed too far and the black player never showed up. But I've brightened it up a bit so that you can still see the black player on here. See that he's got troops here. You can make it so that troops are bigger squares and regular units are small squares. You can change it so that you don't show workers. So basically not showing half of these guys, these workers here, showing up as the small dots on the minimap. And there's quite a lot of options. Oh, the assassin walked past just as he built that quarry. That was kind of amusing. Oh, its arch is going down. I only kills one of them off. Krarilotus doesn't know that he's there. Spearman trying to work off the workers there, trying to focus down the archers. I'm surprised these guys haven't moved up to this edge, so you can shoot some of these workers. Prevents CIO getting the resources. But it seems to be doing okay for him. Another assassin over here. So CIO is just starting to claim that downstairs stone. Hasn't done there. Krarilotus has tried to claim both downstairs stone. Which gives him a bit of an advantage there. But he also has assassins inside his base, which have been dealt with without too much hassle there. Krarilotus moving into a decent bread economy. And he's now on 4 Fletchers. Versus the same 3 Polterners. Wait, no, 2 Polterners, 2 Fletchers, I think it is. Yep. Plus a leather armor. I'd like to see some blacksmith coming out soon, but we'll see how that goes. As you can see down here, Krarilotus has been smashing out the KD. He's kind of at an advantage there, but he is behind in troop count at the moment. But he is everywhere. Archers up here. Archers here, so these guys are going to take a little bit of damage. So he's going to be told exactly what's going on. Archers over here. Hasn't seen this assassin sitting down here, but these slaves get killed for nothing. These guys might deal with them, but these spearmen are just pushing Krarilotus like crazy. Like, he just has to constantly respond to them. I don't think they're doing too much actual, especially not when they're fighting woodcutters. I don't think they're doing too much actual damage, but they're distracting enough that it is worth it. Slingers go down. I'd like to see a slave or assassin come over that way. Looks like we've got horse archers on patrol trying to get rid of these archers up here, with the main army showing up at the top there. Archers have died at the front here from the tower. Krarilotus has an assassin out here destroying this quarry over here. The other assassin obviously has been dealt with at some point. But looks like CIO is going to claim the center right now. Archers go down. It's kind of a shame that that Slinger got left long enough, but the Lord is out there and vulnerable. You can do a 10 of damage, but that low ground quarry there is going to go down. But he's got another army coming around the side there from Krarilotus. CIO should have troops to be able to deal with it fairly easy. He's walled in the side, and he started to get his Maceman. And that's going to be huge as well if Krarilotus doesn't catch up with that. So I think he's smashed out a eco. He's got his bear coming in about time. So that's going to put him in a good position. He's only got 2, which means he's got -4 taxation available. and that's going to be a huge benefit. Much smaller, and this CIO's only got one of these, which is actually also going to give him a -4 taxation, but on half the population. So Krarilotus should be getting a lot extra gold there. I believe that's going to be 0.8 gold per worker per month. I mean, I'm loving watching this little mini map down here for SHC player. Now, SHC player, for those of you who aren't aware, is a mod created by a Russian guy, modder called Juggernaut. It's been around a while. However, we haven't really worried about it because it conflicts with the unofficial Crusader patch, which is what enables bootstrapping, which enables the rebalance. But we've managed to get it working with both. We've lost the ability to use the healers to heal up your units. Unfortunately, there's just the conflict there, and you just can't do both. And we are running into a few bugs with the way SHC players set up. It's possible just that the people that have been using it until now, I think, are mostly peacetime players, and so the way their games go probably didn't run into the same situations that we're running into that's causing issues for us. So unfortunately, I will not be able to get every game like this, but we are getting a few games through, which is great for me because when everyone else is playing is in the middle of my night, being in Australia, and most players being in Europe. So this is going to be really beneficial to me. So these guys played a week or two ago. Actually, I think it might be more than that now. And it'll definitely be more than that by the time it goes on to YouTube. So it's kind of cool that I can just be able to go back and grab the good games. And if we get enough games going through, I can pick and choose the best games to put up. Looks like Krarilotus has kind of like the left side. Or what's this down the bottom here? Maceman inside Krarilotus' base. Only a couple hobbles. That's not too big a deal. But another army starting to come forward. There's a couple Macemen in there, but mostly archers and spearmen. But there's an army coming straight into CIO's base. And I don't think CIO has really the units here to defend against that many Macemen. Now I could make it put a progress bar showing how far the game's going in, but I don't want to do that because that would kind of give away when the game's about to finish. I kind of like being surprised that the game's only just finished. Oh, dog cage is coming out. I don't know how I'm under attack, but sure. Some more assassins going by. Ah, they're going to go down. He survives. And their army on the left is backing off because there's a lot of Macemen. CIO just cannot compete with this amount of Macemen. He should probably be trying to get trying to save up for a cathedral, get some maces out, sorry, some monks out to deal with these maces. Because you just can't compete with maces with spearmen. Towers over here trying to get the high ground against these guys, but the maces are going to take it from him. That one assassin is still sitting over here. Maces takes out a quarry. That army that went forward is pulled back. Horsearchers. And CIO's been pushed right back and pretty much to his base right now. And Krarilotus is just constantly sending out more and more Macemen and more archers. Unfortunately, I don't think CIO took advantage of his spears early enough. I mean, he was getting some good progress from having spears, as opposed to Krarilotus focusing on archers. However, he just failed to progress into the maces in sufficient numbers, I think. He's got 3 blacksmiths. and 2 leather workers versus 3 leather workers and 3 blacksmiths. I mean, theoretically that should just work, right? I just realized I haven't been playing any music this entire game. But that's alright, you guys can just deal with it. You can let me know in the comments how much of an idiot I am for forgetting that. Those maces have been dealt with. More dog cages coming out here from CIO. I mean, the unit balance is about the same, but it's just so heavy into maces for Krarilotus versus spears for CIO. This is probably not something you want to be fighting because these guys have high advantage. Although if you're shooting these guys, it doesn't really matter. And these guys. We've got these guys are going to take high ground on these guys. We've run out of wheat here for CIO. He's run out of food as well. With the constant pressure, he hasn't been able to get the food in, and he hasn't realised that he's got no wheat. Which means this could be problematic for him. He could be about to lose all his popularity and not be able to replace it. And he'll start losing workers almost straight away because all his workers are going straight into his army. Shields coming out. I like to see that. That's a great way to try to regain some advantage once you've been pushed back. Is progress into the next powerful unit. Shields is a great thing to do it. Super Noodle, I think, is one of the guys who are watching the game. I think there's only one guy watching it, but that's not the point. I was watching it at the point when it was played. Some archers up there. Mace is trying to get in and try to kill off those shields. Can't say I blame them. There's a lot of archers up here. I honestly, a diseased cow up here would do so much damage. If CIO could see his way to building a trebuchet, and he's definitely got the gold for it. I think he's saving up for a cathedral, but his popularity is now down at 53. He's getting a little bit of food in from somewhere. They must have bought some wheat, and these guys got the rest of it. What's this purple dot over here? An assassin sitting down here almost dead. Usually that means that he's done something before now. Krarilotus is starting to bring out his own siege. Surrounded his lord with killing pits. Just in case any assassins try to come out and finish him off, they'll die to the killing pits. And knights coming out for Krarilotus as well. The knights are super powered in this balance, so we'll have to see how this goes. There are a lot of units that they're going to have to fight against, but that gold is just gone. He went for his own knights. That's what he was saving the gold up for, not the monks. And huge army's going to push the main thing back, but the knights are still there to run around the base. The dogs come out. The Lord, oh, that was so close. That was so close. You can't heal that Lord up. Look how close that Lord is. And this central fight. Krarilotus brought his own maces out to try to stop this, but it's going to be too little, too late. This central army is going to have to be pushed right back. Krarilotus still has plenty of troops on the edges, and he's still got plenty of advantage in resources. Man, look how many wheat farms he's got now. I mean, I hate seeing how inefficiently his base is set out, just because he's just been clicking fast. I just say that it always gets me. I'm a perfectionist in that. I'm not a perfectionist anywhere else, but just that huge issue. Now we do have 2 inns now for CIO, which is going to be a third. There wasn't another one. Oops, I wanted to hit that button. No. I think that's going to be a +6 popularity. Krarilotus has 4, which is also going to be +6. And he also has his Cathedral, which is also going to add him +2. Which means he should be getting -8 tax, but on a very high population. And Monk's coming out now. And Krarilotus reclaiming that central hill. And Monk's also getting right up into the base. They're going for the granary, but the granary was empty, as is the armory. Which means that didn't do a heck of a lot of damage, unfortunately. But these guys are about to deliver, so the moment CIO realizes and rebuilds his granary, these guys are going to drop food off. But he is losing popularity quickly while he forgets. And he was watching it. He spawned so much troops out to try to deal with them. But he hasn't noticed. He's completely forgotten. He's now on negative popularity. He's starting to lose workers. And he's recruiting them into troops as well. This isn't good. This could be problematic for CIO here. We've got a bit of army coming through here with the knights, but they're being pushed off by the monks. Got some assassins, but they now have been seen. Knight just they're just being a nuisance, but this is a huge army coming forward from Krarilotus. Swordsman coming forward, and the granary has been placed. Luckily, he's got this bear, so he can reduce his taxes to be able to get his popularity back up. I think it's these dogs that it thinks is me. That will eventually take out that tower. He does have plenty of stone to recover on that one, so he can repair it if need be. But he's been pushed right back to his base once again. And Krarilotus has not claimed the extra resources yet, but I mean, with this sort of bread economy, he'll be selling so much food that he can easily cope with that. So now we've got a fight going forward. These monks are probably the biggest thing that makes that scary. Trying to push through the monks is going to be very, very expensive for CIO. I would be trying to spam click them to get them through the army and destroying this the siege units up here. Ignore the monks. Try to leave them behind you. The tower has gone down. Disease cow. Oh, perfectly placed. Perfectly placed cow there. Gonna kill several units over there. These knights need to be microed a bit better. But Krarilotus also needs to be microing his units. Replay finish. I think that means CIO called the GG. I just didn't receive it, unfortunately. CIO must have called it and left. And I mean, with half the amount of gold received, you can't blame him. That food difference is just massive. Wood difference. Even the stone difference, because he was able to claim that low ground for so much longer. CIO ended up getting almost equal weapons, but the problem was that they're mostly spears instead of the stronger units. But yeah, thanks guys for hanging out. That was a great game. I will be trying to get videos out every week. It kind of depends on when I'll be able to get videos, get games to watch. But I'm trying to get them out at least one a week. So yeah, if you play with the SHC player and you get some good games, send them through to me on Discord. If you enjoyed that video, make sure you leave a like and comment down below, because it's going to really help the algorithm to recommend my videos. So even if it is just to say how much you hate me, I'm happy to be hated. Catch you later.